the Sports Barn, Tuesday, September 1st. It's the first day of the rest of your life and my life, and we're going to do some sports here. MLB picks, baseball, the national pastime, if you will. Recapping last night, we had a good night. We actually had a winning night for once. So in our relentless drive to get back to 500. If you're joining us for the first time, we're that much under 500. That much. You know, we actually keep track here in the barn. Because I don't know how you ever get any better unless you keep track. So we're close. We're close. There's a college football schedule getting ready to start. I was looking at it. It's not great. But it's college football. Thursday, let me get this right. Southern Miss hosted South Alabama. I think the number is a little more than 2 touchdowns. Southern Miss, generally a bowl team, one of those lower rung bowl teams. South Alabama, they were 2-10 last year. So I thought about it. I thought, well, all these, there are no games really, but just a handful. They'll be like mini bowl games, a non-conference game. It could possibly be the only game that night, or one of the only games that night. It'll be like a mini bowl game, without fans, or circumstance or pomp. Really, some of these games probably draw higher ratings than a bowl game. At least as far as I know, if college football can avoid driving the fans away anyway. But, so let's see what happens. I'll get to that, I believe, tomorrow. I feel obligated to make a pick on it just because in the past I have been pretty good with college football. I was looking at this game and I'm like, nothing's jumping out at me. Sometimes things just jump right off the page at you. Like, whoop, I hate that coach. Let's play against him. But nothing was really jumping out at me on this one. I have a hunch, I have a feel, but I don't know. I'll go back at it later. Anyway, that's for tomorrow. At some point, we're going to be getting you a presidential endorsement. That's coming. As well as a prediction on the presidential race. That's coming as well. But let's get to the baseball. We're actually getting this thing done earlier in the day. It's about 20-9 right now. So hopefully you'll get it up there well in advance of the first pitches. Allow you to find me so we maybe get back up into double digits in views. I'm doing this mostly for me, but it wouldn't help my ego, or I should say it wouldn't hurt my ego at all to have, more than 6 people look at the damn thing. Just saying. All right, so what happened yesterday? One of our top-rated plays lost. It could have gone either way. Toronto didn't hit the ball. Just they looked like they were in swing mode, and the Baltimore pitcher, he was pretty good at keeping them from getting a fat one to hit 9 miles. At the end there, they had a chance to tie it, and Baltimore executed a defensive play and threw the guy out the plate to end the game. So we lost. Seattle, finally, we beat the Angels. The Angels and the Mariners are 2 teams we've had no luck at all with. They were playing each other, and finally, we got one of these games right. St. Louis has been pretty good to us. I should say maybe the Cincinnati Reds have been better to us. We try to fade them at every opportunity. The Cardinals much the best last night. Atlanta getting it done in Boston. You know, right now it just seems like Boston's a dead team. You know, they seem out of it and they get a lot of veterans, so there's probably a lot of guys up there just going through the motions. So Atlanta, thinking, I guess, being here that Freed is, you know, he's on fire right now. He held Red Sox down while the Braves jumped out to a lead, covered the run line for us. That's a win. There's a cat. Hi, cat. He says hello. This sucked, but at least we had the good luck or good skill to have the run line, as the Indians were kind enough to just go ahead and lose and not stick us with a one-run win while we're on the run line taking a loss. So they went ahead and lost and saved us some money because we only played 135. I mean, they just didn't hit, you know, just could not figure out Brad Keller and didn't hit, so loss. But then the Padres, you know, this has been a pretty good team for us. They just keep right on rolling. They're probably feeling pretty good about themselves considering all the dudes they picked up at the trade deadline. I mean, everybody on that team has got to be thinking, you know, we got a real chance here. You know, we can be playing deep into October. This is fun. We've never done this before. So, you know, right now we're kind of thinking, you know, along these lines that we're looking for teams that feel good and want to be out there, you know. And we're trying to fade the teams that are, you know they don't got any chance, that have no chance. So there's our record, 309. You know, we just, if your first day here, we just flat bet everything just to keep things straight. We stratify our picks. One is one that we can, you know, we have a hunch one way or the other. That's a 1-star pick. A 2-star pick is generally something our stupid little spreadsheet says, you must play this. That's a 2-star pick, and then a 3-star, that's the one we feel the best about. That's a 3-star pick. And those ones in the middle have been awful. You know, the ones I kind of have a hunch on, we do pretty good on those. And the top rated ones would do okay on those. But those ones off the spreadsheet, they haven't been good all year. At any rate, what else we got here? All right, let's get to today. We're going to take a shot again with the Cardinals. The Reds are throwing, I don't know, is he their best pitcher or is that Trevor Bauer? I've been watching. I have one of my subscribers suggested I take a look at Trevor Bauer's vlog, and it's very good. I mean, for a while I was thinking, you know, having made these things myself, I'm like, holy shit. It must take him forever to make this thing. I guess he's got help. I mean, I guess he's signed up with a media company, Momentum or something like that. So I guess what he does is just shoot a shitload of clips and MP files, and then he just ships them all to them, and they splice it and put it together, because that takes time. I mean, if you're putting all that shit together yourself, that takes forever. So he must have help. That's all I can think of there, because there's only so many hours in the day. Now, me personally, if I was a general manager, I would be a little concerned that one of my star pitchers is spending that much time doing that sort of thing. It just would, you know, it's like, all right, you know, win. If you win, I guess, you know, winning cures all. Well, the Reds aren't winning. You know, so just saying. Anyway, that's a big long story about a guy that's not pitching today. So, the guy that is pitching today is Sonny Gray. But we're going to try to take a flyer on beating him. You know, we're getting paid to do it, and they're the Reds. The Reds stink. You know, the Cardinals, their record is pretty pedestrian, but we still think there's more to the Cardinals. We think there's more below the waterline than what you're seeing. You know, they played a lot of games over a short span because of this virus catch-up deal they're doing. But yeah, I think the Cardinals are a solid team. Historically, they've been much better than the Reds. So we're going to go ahead and play the blue chip Cardinals versus the Reds. 1 star there. This one's kind of a hunch game. Yeah, we got Aaron Nola in the Phillies and Washington and Patrick Corbin. And this game's in Philadelphia. This kind of is a must-win game for the Nationals. And normally I would say the Nationals don't care. They're up the track. They quit. They're like 12 and 18. But they're the champions. I mean, there has to be a little pride in that clubhouse somewhere. Because that's embarrassing, to me. That means you get a bunch of people that aren't professionals. If you win the championship one year and then the year after that, you don't even make the playoffs. In a year where they took everybody, in a year where it was sort of, up to you if you wanted to make the playoffs. If you simply wanted it enough, there's enough talent in that Washington clubhouse to make the playoffs, to beat the Marlins, per se. And they're not doing it at the moment. So to me, that's an indictment. That's embarrassing. It's like, if you don't make it on a year like this, it's like, okay, I mean, you're still the champions in 2019, the last actual year, and no one can ever take that away from you. But that's a pretty embarrassing thing to have happen. All right, so all that thinking being that the champions are going to show tonight that this is a game they got to have. Aaron Nola pitches like shit against the Nationals. That's a guy that I've kind of been waiting for this guy to be an ace, to be the next Roy Halladay. And it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. His fastball isn't good enough. He just throws lots and lots of sliders and curveballs, and eventually he hangs one and it ends up in the seats, especially in Philadelphia. So we're thinking that Washington finds a way to beat him tonight. Corbin does enough to hold the Phillies down, and the Nationals get it done tonight. And we're getting paid for it too. That's not a bad price with the champions. So we'll take that chance. Here's our top-rated play. The Cubs in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's a bad team. The Cubs, that feels like a team that wants to be out there for whatever reason. That they seem to have, I don't know. It almost feels, I don't know how to say it. The Cubs almost feels like they're forcing it a little bit. We're having fun. Look how much fun we're having. I almost think like, David Ross has like fun calisthenics before the game. We're gonna have fun tonight. We're having fun. Let's have organized chants, and we'll jump up and down and shake hands in a particular funny way, and all this other stuff the Cubs seem to do. Well, whatever they're doing, it seems to be working for them. And we think they're just going to keep on going. I mean, it's a team with a ring. They know how to win. I think they see it as, a lot of the drudgery of a long, long season is stripped away here. And we're almost to the fun part, So I think this is a team that, wants to be there as opposed to the Pirates. So we're going to take lay the number there with the better Cubs and hope that John Lester has a good outing and holds those guys down. So the Cubs, that's a good play there, 3 stars. We'll take Milwaukee. This is just kind of a feel play. We've always liked the Brewers. Not sure why. I think that's a team that exceeds expectations, which are always pretty low for the Milwaukee Brewers. I still keep saying the Detroit Tigers stink, even though they keep proving me wrong this year. But we think that the Brewers are going to hit the ball around tonight, I hope. Get out to a quick big lead on Michael Fulmer. And we're going to take a shot here with the run line, which right now was at 111. We were getting paid. So we'll see if the Brewers can do it. They only get 8 at bats. Let's hope they swing the bats early. Tonight is a weird night in that, goddamn 2020. Half these games don't even have numbers on them yet. know, who's pitching? I don't know. You know, we don't know who's in, who's out, who's injured, who's not, who's going to pitch tonight. The bookies are putting up numbers on half the games. So this game doesn't even have a number on it yet. But we want it. I know I said we weren't going to do that after we paid like some ridiculous price earlier in the year and got beat, saying, oh, I want that game no matter what. And then it came up and the price was like double what I would have paid for it. And, you know, I took the L. But we want the Indians at Kansas City. I just, you know, the model screams, take this game, you got to do it. That's what we've had a little luck with in the past month, is just letting the spreadsheet do whatever it wants to do. And it's screaming, take this goddamn game. So we're going to take the run line with the Indians on the road. It'll probably end up being something around even money. Zach Plesac, I guess that's the thinking, that Zach Plesac now is going to go out there and throw a big game and, you know, okay, here's your chance, buddy. You know, everybody's been saying what a bad guy you are. So, you know, prove how good you are. You know, when you're good, you can be a bad guy. You know, A-Rod made a career out of that. So, go ahead, be a bad guy, but be a good guy. You know, you got to be a good player to be a bad guy. Otherwise, they get rid of you. You know, oh, you're a bad guy. Man, you can't play baseball. All right, well, then we're going to get rid of you. So, that's the thinking. Zach Plesac with a big effort tonight. The White Sox, they seem to be on a roll again. I watched some of that game last night. I mean, it actually sounded like there were fans there. Dude, that's how much noise the White Sox dugout was making when they were going ahead and winning that game in the ninth inning. I mean, they were whooping it up. I mean, the Twins are dead money right now. So I'm just feeling the White Sox here. So we'll have them for 1 star. Indulge me with a quick story. I remember my brother and I went to Game 6 of the 2010 NLCS in Philadelphia versus the Giants. Obviously, we're the Phillies fans, being here in the eastern Pennsylvania. Big Phillies fans. So we're going to Game 6. And I remember before the game, I think I said to Mark, I said, you know, I hope there's just no moments tonight where there's just shocked, dead silence in the stadium, except for the sound of the other team cheering. And that is exactly what happened. We were way up in the nosebleed section, and late in the game it's tied, and Juan Uribe hits a home run to put those guys up. And the only sound you heard in that whole damn stadium, 50,000 people upwards of, silence, except for down there in the Giants dugout. I'll never forget that as long as I live. That is going to be one of the top 5 defeats of my sports career. That was horrifying. But, you know, that was the kind of noise coming out of the White Sox dugouts last night, so we'll play that. And lastly, out on the West Coast, the Dodgers, they just keep rolling, beating the shit out of everybody. So we'll go ahead and take them again. We'll try to shorten it up here. They're at home. We'll take the run line, 125. You know, I think I said we were going to, like, you know, I'm talking myself out of it as we're shooting the video. Didn't I say we were going to play the big numbers at home? And here I am saying take the run line. Oh, God. You know what, we're going to do it. We're going to shorten it up, you know, just in case. Julio Urias has not been great the last times out. He beat us the last time out we had him. We're thinking he's going to bounce back. He's been on the road the last couple starts. I think these guys all throw better at Dodger Stadium. I think he's got to feel a little bit better about himself now. They just traded Ross Stripling. That was kind of like that 6-man rotation. Now we're down to 5. So he made the cut. He's got to feel better about himself maybe. But we don't quite trust him. You know, what if he goes out there and gives up 5 runs? You know, then I'm not sure I want to be on the wrong end of a minus 250. So we'll go ahead and shorten it up. The Dodgers score a lot of runs. I mean, the Diamondbacks, you know, who's pitching for them tonight? Alex Young. I don't know the first thing. I'd have to look that up. Gotta look up Alex Young. But I'm just kind of hoping the Diamondbacks would just spit the bit. I mean, you know, they just traded some guys. It's like, oh, sell. All right, well, time to go to the golf course. Do I have to wear a mask at the golf course? You know, I want these guys thinking about anything and everything other than baseball. Arizona, that is. All right, so recap. We're going to take the Cardinals 1 star, the Nationals 1 star, top rated to play the Cubs, the Brewers at home 1 star. This is one we want whenever it hits the board. We want the Indians money line, or say it correctly, the Indians run line. That's a top play. The White Sox 1 star there, and then 2 stars out in Chavez Ravine with the Dodgers. So there you have it. Let's get some more winners on the board. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you that are here. Tell your buddies. We'll try to get things going here as college football's about to roll through. I think it's another 10 days till the NFL kicks off. Seems odd. I mean, you know, usually August is dominated by the NFL with all their, you know, NFL talk and the preseason games, which frankly I don't really miss. You know, I've always thought the NFL preseason was completely and utterly meaningless. But the NFL will be kicking off here, I don't know, probably 10 days maybe, next Thursday. So that'll be big, you know. Again, we try to generate volume here in the sports barn. In other words, we think that's the key to piling units up, is games, more games, mo games. But we are aware certain games have more interest level than others. So football's coming, and we're going to be there for it. That's one of college football, pro football. Those are the ones we like. College basketball, and then we fill in with baseball where we have to. So thanks, good luck, good day, good gambling. It's a chirp hazard.